digital branch and branch transformation.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I hope you're all safe, and Alex for giving this chance to us. Let me start with a brief about SEDCO. SEDCO is part of BIL group. We were established in 1983, so we have more than 37 years of experience providing IT solution. We started doing solutions in 1983, like taking ideas and make them a solution. But in the past 13 years, we were focusing in building a suite of products of customer experience. And the last 5 years, we've been focusing in a digital branch transformation and self-service. We have our headquarters in Dubai. We cover +4 -4 time of Dubai. So we cover all Middle East, GCC, Africa, French and English speaking, as well as Central Europe and CIS countries. Our main vertical actually is the banking sector. So we focus in 4 verticals. We have more than 10,000 installations worldwide. But the banking is the biggest sector that we focus on. And we have more than 80 partners in these 50 countries that we address. Well, as you know, there's a trend in the market that the branches are really declining, and there's a rise of use of the digital channel, especially mobile and online banking, and maybe the COVID-19 accelerated. Actually, they said the best accelerator for banks to adopt and go to digital is the what's happening now in the world. But will the bank? This is a very debated question. Will the bank disappear in the near future? The answer most probably is not. Will not go away soon. But maybe you need to reinvent the branch concept. Why? Because there's a lot of complex transaction in the banking that require face-to-face. There's the legal infrastructure and the regulation are not changing fast. So in some countries, you need to go to the branch to do the onboarding process. As well as there's a convenience for like certain demography or certain age group to use the branches as well. So next please. So if we look at the service channels that are really in the banks now, you have the classical branches, you have the machines, and you have the digital channels of online banking. And if you look at the journeys or also the demography or the type of transaction is used, you find that it varies between them. So you'll find that in the branches, the classical branches are really preferred by older generation. They preferred for complex transaction or the transaction that takes a lot of time, and where you need to collect a physical item like checkbook or the ATM card or a credit card. And the machines become in between, and the digital channels are really being preferred by younger generation or for simple transaction and less time and effort or less human interaction. As I said, the pressure on bank now is to really have the right balance and to make use of the technology if you can go next, please. Also, the bank needs is actually now because of the pressure and the competition, they need to compete and provide all banks almost have the same services or same products, but the services are really the differentiated value for the banks. So they want to deliver that service with a optimized resources with the least cost, and to boost their revenue and to provide the flexibility of redeploying their machines in a way that they approach to provide a proximity for their addressed portfolio of users. And what really customer wants, of course, the key element of what the customer wants is the nice experience. convenient experience to have it with 24/7 services, to really have it immediately and effort, and to have a safer trip during this era. So we look at a model, a branch of the future, or a digital branch, which we see a lot of testing now of many concepts, but this concept resonating very well. So you have a small, lean branch with a digital corner, and you have, like, during the working hours, some human teller for people that they prefer to have the human interaction. So you did not ignore these people because it's part of your customers. And you people that they prefer the use of a machine. If you look at the right side of the digital corner, you will have a distributor of selection of service. It depends on the service and the demography of the visitor. Either they will be transferred to human teller, or if it is a quick service or a cash service, will be go to the right side. Or if it is a complex service or requires advisory or require like an onboarding process that take time, it go to a seated environment. You have a virtual teller with video capability. So you look at the branch, it satisfies all the spectrum of the demography and the type of service that will be provided, and it is extended 24/7. So as you see, we provide two self-service solutions. One is like a stand kiosk, so you can use it while you stand up, and this is for a quick services. And in the right side, which is a seated environment where it requires more time in the providing the service, and maybe you will ask for assistance of a virtual teller. So this service machine, this is just a sample of what this service machine can provide. They can provide a total onboarding and issuing of ATM cards. They can do ATM card renewal. They can do check deposit. They can do instant check leaf or checkbook printing. They do account statement and printing, applying for loan, transferring fund, feedback of the services. As well, the other bank also provide a third-party value-added payment services for utility, for telco, or other of the other services. Just a brief about the machine. This is used for a service that takes longer time. You have the camera, a screen for digital signage, and for video conferencing with the teller. You have a document and check acceptor, so you can, like, when you apply for an onboarding process, if there's a requirement document, it could be scanned and collected. It has a receipt printer, it has a passport and ID printer, it has barcode reader, smart card reader, fingerprint, NFC, pin pad, checkbook printer, and check leave it. And the most important thing is a card printer from Evolis. So this machine is almost it's a bank by itself. So I'll go through a scenario where it's a very common scenario, but this scenario varies between like banks based on their business process and workflow, and between different countries to comply with the regulation. But we have a flexible platform that we can change that without any programming, and adapt it to whatever the business process is there. So the step one is, like, for example, is opening a new account. So here you fill the information, you put your mobile number, your address, and all of that. And if it's a requirement to scan your ID or passport or collect a document, it happens here. So you can have also a biometric identification. It could be fingerprint or iris or whatever. And then you can get and collect your ATM card immediately on the spot. So you don't have to wait for a mail or to visit for branch to get your card. As Alex mentioned, the benefit of instant card issuing is really very obvious. And the other one is we show a sample of integration between the digital journey where you will like apply for an ATM card renewal or a card renewal. You apply it in a digital channel, but you need to collect it. So if you provide a self-service machine, it will be in proximity to where you live instead of like waiting to. I always suffer when it's a when I want to have something with courier, because you have to stay with the timing of the courier, and that timing is takes time sometimes, and sometimes you missed it. You have to wait for another 2 weeks. So it's good to have it immediately, and to have this service machine in a mall, in a branch near you, so you can start the journey in your mobile app. You have a QR code. You go to the machine. You scan your QR code. You get a one-time password. You enter your one-time password, and you get your card and collect your old card. It's as simple as this. So, you know, the importance of card issuing, everybody now in a hurry, and they want to get the service immediately. So in the onboarding process, it's very important that you have access to the banking service, including the cards that you will use immediately, not after 2 weeks, not after 1 week. So this is the most important thing is that even if you go for a new bank, you know, these really open banks, okay, they will also have maybe they don't have a branch actually. They have this machine to really as a channel to provide you with a physical item like a checkbook, like a card, because card will stay as well. So how would you an open bank do this without issuing a card? And as Alex mentioned, they have the starting also having cards as well instead of also the other payments. So it's the obvious self-service. It's provide the convenience for customer. They provide them with immediate service, so where they want and when they want it, based on their convenience, not based in your working hours. So they can choose whatever location is proximate to them. They get the service immediately. They don't have to wait. Okay, they get it the way they want it. It's just 24/7. Why we choose Evolis in our self-service solution? First of all, the design of the machine, it's compact. It was designed to service and to really do the maintenance inside a kiosk. So we have many options inside our kiosk. Even a multi-hopper with high capacity, because you don't need to really fill the self-service machine every 5 minutes or every day. So you have the high capacity of cards that we install in the machine. And many banks, they don't have one type of card, they have many types of card. So they have up to 4 hoppers, so they can include that in our self-service machine. And one of the important feature that is a differentiated value for Evolis, that during the card issuing of an onboarding, a lot of the customer forget to collect the card, so they have the retraction feature. So the machine itself will retract the card and install it in a pen that to be in order not to be for security reason, not to be forgotten and collected by somebody else. As well as this retractor also could be used for card renewal. So when you renew a card, you can insert your old card, collect your old card, and get that. And of course, we have done many installation with Evolis. The easiness of integration with IT environment also the key issue. We'll show you now a real installation for one of our customers, and the video will show it itself. As you see, this is a self-service DSM. It has all the banking features that I mentioned, but we're showing one part of it, which is the onboarding and the ATM card issuing. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Majdi, for sharing your experience and expertise on the topic of self-service and digital branch transformation. And we are now going to the last section of our presentation today, having